Welcome to Inking on the Fly. I'm Amy Jasper and I have another great card to share with you today. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, make sure you click on that thumbs up button. Thanks for stopping in for another Inking on the Fly video. Today's card is going to feature the Part of My Story Cling Mount Stamp Set from Stampin Up. This stamp set is a Sale-a-bration stamp set, which means that until the end of March of this year, 2019, in case you're watching this video later, until the end of March this year, this stamp set is available among many other amazing products from Stampin Up with every $60 purchase through your Stampin Up demonstrator, hopefully me if you're here in Canada. So that's awesome. Don't miss out on Sale-a-bration if you haven't taken advantage of it already. The other stamp set that we will be using today is the Cling Mount stamp set called Artfully Aware. This set is in the Occasions catalog, which it will be available until the end of May. So let's get started. We've got a piece of the Wood Textures Designer Series paper, which I have cut down to 2 inches by 5 inches. And then we're going to use our Artfully Aware stamp with the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And we're going to stamp that one down here like so. Like that. Beautifully stamped. I practice, you know. And then we're going to color it. So I am using the Blends Markers and I'm using a lot of them. So I will share with you what I've got here. We have dark balmy blue and light balmy blue. We have light and dark mint macaron, light and dark Bermuda Bay, light and dark pumpkin pie, light and dark Highland heather, and then we also have a few shades of neutrals. We have the ivory and the bronze. They're intended to sort of be skin tone options. Then I have the light crumb cake and dark crumb cake. I have the dark smoky slate, and I also have the dark Night of Navy. So those are all the colors we're going to use. Lots of colors for this tiny little thing, but you know, everybody needs their own shirt color, right? I think so. Okay, so then we're going to color. I will speed this up for you because you don't need to watch me color, I'm sure, unless, I mean, maybe that's a thing. I don't know.
As I walk along, can't find the words to my favorite song, rolling round inside my head. I guess I'll just hum them out instead. It goes do 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 do.
Okay, so there's our coloring done. The next phase is, what is the next phase? We're going to put that on a base of gray granite, but first I'm going to take this and I'm going to emboss it, and I'm going to use the Subtle 3D Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing folder. Is that not a mouthful? I think it is. This is a really neat folder because it just adds a little bit of texture. It's super, see that? It's just subtle. It's like textured. It makes your cardstock textured, which is awesome because I can take any cardstock, patterned or not patterned, and run it through this, and I end up with something just with a little bit more, and that's good, I think. So I'm going to go do that. So I'm going to pop it in here like that. and run that through my Big Shot. Okay, so here I have my textured paper. I don't know, I hope, yeah, you can see that, right? There you go. So that's pretty cool. So two sides, I tend to go for this side where it's most of the heavier impressions are embossed, so raised. This side, those are debossed, so they're deep impressions. And yeah, I just kind of, I don't know, I like this side. It doesn't really matter which side you use. So then I'm going to adhere my Wood Textures Designer Series paper piece to my textured piece. And I've made it the same size, or the same width. So my textured piece is 5 inches also. 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches, if you like to know these sorts of things. There we go. And then I also have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that I cut just a smidgen bigger. So this is cut at 5 1/16 bigger. Like, that's silly, right? 5 1/16. And this one is whatever that ends up being. So it's 3 3/4 plus 1/16. So then I am going to again use my multi-purpose Tombow liquid glue. And I really like using the liquid glue with any textured embossing folders. I feel like it gets kind of more into the cracks and crannies and is more likely to give me the kind of adhesion that I'm looking for. There we go. All right. The next step is, how about a little bit of ribbon? So this is the Gray Granite 1/2 inch textured weave ribbon. I have a lot of things with the word texture in it. I just realized textured wood textured wood designer series paper, subtle textures, textured impressions embossing folder, and the 1/2 inch textured weave. I guess I like texture today. This one I'm going to attach with my tear and tape. So I'm going to start with a piece of tear tape on the back. So that I can attach my ribbon on the back like that. Oh, there's a little bit that's not covered. I want it all covered because I'm going to be working with this on my paper and I don't want it to stick to my scrap paper, my grid paper. Just make that a little longer. There, now it's covering all of my adhesive at the back. Then I want some of this same tear and tape on the front of my card here where my ribbon is going to go across, because I'm going to do a bit of a ruffling technique. So for this technique, we lay the first bit of our ribbon down on our tear and tape, but then I'm going to start kind of twisting and pressing as I go to give me a little ruffle, just a little more texture. See, there's that word again. And then I'm finishing it off flat and straight at the end there. So then I will cut off my ribbon and flip it over and add another piece of tear and tape on the back. So that it's nice and tidy, like so. Then this whole piece I'm going to attach to a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. This I've already scored at the halfway mark, so this piece of paper is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at the 4 1/4 mark with my Simply Scored tool. So I am folding that. Use my bone folder to give me a nice crisp edge. Like that. And then I'm going to attach this with dimensionals. I'll use my mini dimensionals from Stampin' Up. I love my dimensionals. If you're in Canada and you don't have a demonstrator and you like these products that I'm sharing with you, be sure to go over to inkingonthefly.com, and there you'll be able to order products from me and take advantage of Sale-a-bration at the same time, because Sale-a-bration is only going now until the end of March. So that's not much time, like a few more days. So you don't want to miss out on free stuff. We all like free stuff. And if you like Stampin' Up products anyways, then getting a little bit of free stuff for things that you would have been buying already just makes a lot of sense, I think. Why just buy what you can buy when you can get something for free as well? This is the time. Okay. So that's on that lovely Night of Navy. So now it needs a little more, right? So we're going to add a sentiment, and that's that sentiment from Part of My Story. So we're using this one here. Here's to those who inspire us and don't even know it. So we're using that. And I'm stamping it on Whisper White with, again, the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Beautiful, just like that. Okay, and then that I'm going to die cut with my Big Shot again. I love my Big Shot, people, love it. But I'm going to use this oval from the Stitched Shapes Framelit dies from Stampin' Up. These dies have many ovals, sizes, and circles and squares. And they all have that stitched edge, which I love. So that fits quite perfectly. I'm going to do that in my Big Shot, and I'll come right back. All right, here we go. We've got that die cut. Isn't that pretty? I think it is. So now we have a sentiment. I also want to add a little bit of baker's twine. So I'm going to use some white, Whisper White baker's twine, tying it in a rather large loopy bow, I think. Like so. Maybe that's a little too big. Don't go crazy, Amy. Just, you know. There, that looks better. Okay, I will use our paper snips. Trim those ends a little bit. Now this one I'm going to attach using a glue dot. So I have my glue dots on a roll here. So what I'm going to do is actually roll the glue dot because I don't want too much stickiness exposed. So I'm going to roll it and I'm going to stick it on my knot. And then that I'm sticking right around there. Get all my ties in the right direction here. Like that. Yeah, something like that. There we go. And then I'm using more dimensionals. Mini dimensionals are nice for small shapes like this because I can use lots of them and I still feel like I'm being frugal, whereas the large dimensionals, these ones, I would feel a little excessive putting 4 on there because they're so big. Okay. So there's that. We're going to attach it kind of over top of our knot for this one. Like that. I don't know what's happening here. It's a little crazy. I'm okay with crazy. Okay, so there's one more thing that I want to do for this. Because it's cute, I like it, but I think it just needs a little bit more. So I have, if I can grab them, I have these little dots here. I don't know if you can, there we go. These are the Heart Epoxy Droplets, and they're in the Occasions catalog from Stampin' Up. We are going to use our blends to color them. So I'm going to use the dark pumpkin pie, the dark Bermuda Bay, and the dark Night of Navy. We're just going to color our epoxy dots with my markers. So you can see I've already done a few there. So you're just coloring over top. It's not difficult, but the awesome thing is that these markers, because they are alcohol based, they can color on non-porous surfaces like these epoxy dots, and it will stay colored. So instead of clear, which clear is super fun, but instead of clear, we can have colored ones. And then you can see what it looks like on my card. So there we have it, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will come back and watch another one. If you like this video, you might also like some of the other things that I have on my blog at inkingonthefly.com, and make sure you click on that subscribe button.